Welcome back to part 11 of the C10 Chevy Rusty and Crusty build. We're going to get in the shop here today and see what we can get into. I'll be right back. Today I thought I would block sand on this door, and what I use for block sanding is of course the Durablocks. I try to use the longest block I can find depending on what kind of surface I'm sanding. So I have this block and a shorter one, and I also have this rounded block, and I use it in these areas here where there's curve involved. What I always use to block sand with, some people like to use spray paint, all that. I always use this dry guide coat. It comes in a can like this, and you can actually, this is black, and you just actually apply it. You can hear the coarseness of the polyester primer, but that's a good thing because you've got some build on it. You just want to apply a good coat all over the door. Make sure every area is covered. This door is far from being ready to paint, but this first guide coat of blocking will show me any lower imperfections or any places I need to put a little filler in. So start out with the longest block. I always try to go to cross pattern. As you can see, it does cut relatively fast. Low spot there. Some up in here. There's a little dent right there. But a couple dents here. But we're still not down below the polyester primer or even close to the epoxy. So you just keep blocking. Because we have such heavy coats on here, we can block quite a bit. These edges typically burn off because you're pointing the paper over them, so I don't pay too much attention to the edges as much as, you know, the main part of the door. It's time for a dust mask. Places like this area, this is going to be close. I might have to put a little filler in it, but that's probably maybe most of it will come out. This here, these areas I'm not sure about. Okay, let's look what we have here. If you notice, along these edges, it's still a little bit low. Here we touched into the epoxy primer in the metal. A little bit low area right up here. Here we got into the epoxy primer, but all around the outside of it is good. So all we need to do there is probably when we put one more coat on. This place here is just not going to come out without just a skim of filler. Same thing here on this edge. Down through there. See, we're touching here, so we can't go any lower there. This corner here I probably need to block just a little more. Along the bottom edge is sort of the same story. This door has never been touched. It's a factory door, but you can see where they put the spot welds and what it does to the metal. Of course, they don't worry about that at the factory because those are considered minor, and put the paint on, don't worry about it. And we're going to try to see if we can block this corner just a little bit more here. And then I'm going to start on the top. And when I get that done, I'm going to put a skim of Bondo over the places that's showing up there. These places here are where those mirror holes I welded up are at, which that's a little low there, a little bit high right there, and low there. Same thing here. And one couple spots up here. There, and there. That's where the holes I welded up at. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of Bondo and go ahead and skim those areas that I pointed out. So as you can see, I just sort of skimmed over the low areas, real thin layer. Still got to mix up a little bit more and do this area here and up here. I think I'll go ahead and get that mixed up and do that while we're waiting for that to cure. Okay, so we have, I think everything skimmed that was low. Just let it cure up good and then scuff it off. Actually, this door is the straightest of them all because the other driver's door is the one I had to put the lower section on. And I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of lows on that to correct, but this door here, like I say, is supposedly, from what I can tell, has never had any body work done, and just mainly a few years of dings and mirror mounts, and just as good as it came from the factory. So we'll give it a few more minutes here, and then I'll sand on the Bondo a little bit and show you how that goes. Okay, we got the Bondo worked down, and as you can see, it's just especially along this bottom is just very little Bondo that stayed there, just sort of a line around that. So same thing up on the side. So it's time for another coat of primer. I will go back and spot in these bare metal places with some primer before I put another coat of polyester on it, because polyester actually isn't very good for direct to metal at all. So they say you can do like an inch spot with it without any problem, but some of these places are on the edge and I don't want to take a chance on the paint peeling down the road on it. So all right, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I know this hasn't been much watching me block on the door, but got quite a bit going on. Got a car out there I got to put back together after getting crashed last week, so I had to kind of stop middle of the week and start working on that so I can get it back on the road. But that's where we're at, still moving forward slowly but surely. Obviously we're not going to make that 90 days ready for paint because that only gives me one more week, and still got to put the polyester on the cab and get it blocked, and got one door I got to put polyester on still, and of course not had much time to get that on this week. So, but we're still making progress. Like I said before, it's no big deal if I don't get it done in 90 days. I've basically got from now on to to get it finished. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. As most of you know, it's kind of time consuming to video and work at the same time. So, but I want to make it worthwhile. I know I'm going to do it at least through this build until it's completed and painted. After that, I don't know. I may not continue to video much after that, but I do want to have some kind of video trail on this truck to where if I go to sell it, I can say, you know, watch the videos and you can see start to finish what all I've done to it, and where it's at, and actually, you know, that it hasn't had too many corners cut as far as repairs, and rust repairs. Not going to be a Bondo buggy by no means. So, but anyways, thanks for watching. We'll try to see you maybe next week and see if we can get some more primer and sanding done, and see what else we can get into. I've also got some brake rotors and pads to put on the front of the truck. I may try to do that next week in the video also. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you around. Thanks.